Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today class, I'll be talking about the different types of forex traders in the forex market. I do have a lot of persons called me and said I should make a video on the different types of forex traders in the forex market, because remember, the strategy, the way you are going to trade the forex market is going to depend on the type of forex trading that you are applying. So guys, make sure you like, you subscribe, and also share this my video as much as possible, because a lot of persons really want to know. They actually want to know so that they can actually use their appropriate strategy and become profitable and make a lot of money in the forex market. So guys, let's get started. If you're a forex trader and you are still beginning, or you are also an advanced trader and you are still doubting, like for example, because a lot of persons are applying different strategies, but they don't only understand why they are applying that kind of strategy. So the first type of forex trader that we are going to look at here, we are going to have the first one called the scalpers. So those are doing scalping as called scalpers. Now, what is scalping? Because I do have a lot of persons calling me and asking me that, what do you understand as scalping? How does it work? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? What are some of the characteristics of people that of forex traders that are doing scalping? I said it's very simple. If you are doing what, let's look at what scalping means. Look at some of the characteristics. Also look at what the disadvantage and also the advantage of doing scalping. Now let's on the first area. Scalping, and these are forex traders that like to take short-term trades, like 1 minute time frame trades, 5 minute time frame trades, 10 minute time frame trades. So you can discover that scalping mostly works for a very short time frame, mostly like between an interval of 1 minute and 10 minutes time frame. And remember, as a scalper, we are going to actually have a lot of advantages and also a lot of disadvantages associated with scalping. Now let's go to some of the advantages and also some of the disadvantages of scalping. Now I will start now with the advantages of scalping. So the first advantage of scalping is that there is quick profit making when you are applying the scalping system, because as a scalper, since you are looking at smaller price action, so you are looking at small movement in prices, so it means that whenever you place a trade, since those trades are placed for a time frame of 1 minute or 5 minutes, even of about 10 minute time frame, so you are going to actually see whether you are making profit or loss within a very short period of time. And that's why a lot of persons like to do scalping in the forex market. So the first advantage is that you can actually know whether you are making profit or loss within a very short period of time. So that some point is that there is frequent trading opportunities. So as a scalper, since you are analyzing smaller trade movement, smaller price action, smaller price movement in the forex market, so you're going to discover that you are going to be seeing different trading opportunities in that forex market. And that's why some people, mostly the experienced traders, like scalping. Now another advantage of scalping is that with scalping there is a smaller market exposure. You are going to actually have smaller market exposure as a scalper. Now let's look at another advantage. So another advantage is that scalping mostly work for volatile pairs, for those currency pairs or for those trading pairs that are very volatile, like those that are trading gold, those that are trading major currency pairs like euro against the US dollar, like the Great British Pound against the US dollar, and so on and so forth. So it really works for those pairs that are highly volatile, because they actually need to see the opportunities, right, as a result of what smaller or little price action or little price movement. Now another advantage is that you are not going to be having what overnight risk. Why? Because since you mostly trade, as you are facing trades over a short period of time, you're also closing trade over a short period of time. So in that case, now you're not going to having overnight risks, like for example in the case where like Friday or Saturdays where a trade can be closed let me say like at 10 p.m. and those trades also open at 11 p.m. So in that case, so there is limited market risk, there's limited overnight risk when you're doing scalping, because little overnight risk when you're doing scalping. Let's just talk about the disadvantages of scalping. Let's talk about the disadvantages of scalping, guys. Now, as a scalper, there are a lot of disadvantages, right, when you are doing scalping. Now let's go at the first disadvantage of those that are doing scalping of scalpers. The first disadvantage is that there's high transaction cost or there's high trading cost. And I said a transaction cost or a trading cost is simply the difference between it's simply a trading cost or transaction cost is actually that fee or or that particular price or that particular amount that you pay when placing your trade. And we say it's simply the difference between the asking price and the bidding price. So as a scalper, since a scalpers are simply they're mostly taking trades now with smaller time frame, so it's for that they are going to take a lot of trades in the forex market. And whenever you take a lot of trades and you open multiple positions, then you're going to discover that you're actually going to pay a high or huge transaction cost. Now, another disadvantage of scalping is that it actually requires a lot of intense focus. As a scalper, since we are mostly taking smaller time trade with smaller time frame, so it's called that you're going to have a lot of focus, means that a lot of intense focus, like observing the screen, observing the analysis within a very short period of time. So you see, it's very stressful as a scalper because it requires a lot of intense focusing. Now, another disadvantage is that it is very, very emotional. Just take for example, you've seen, as I said, it's simply a trading system where you can actually know your profit or your loss within a very short period of time. And just take a case where maybe like you have placed a trade, maybe say your capital size that you used in personal trade was $1,000, and you did use a lot size, let me say like a standard lot size of 1. And maybe in the case where the trade is agreeing against you, you are going to discover that it's when you are making a lot of losses within a very short period of time, your emotions can be affected. That's why we say that it requires, so it's very, very emotional as a scalper. Now, another disadvantage is that since as a scalper, you are actually analyzing, you're actually looking for smaller market movement or smaller price action. So you're going to discover that little profits are going to be made as a scalper. Now, another disadvantage is that it also requires fast market execution. So if you're using a broker in which that broker is not able now to actually execute your trade so fast, it's actually going to disturb you. It's actually going to disturb your strategy. Now, another disadvantage is that this strategy is not actually good for beginners. If you're a beginner, guys, I will not advise beginners. I will not advise those that are starting forex to start learning their trading with scalping, because with scalping you can actually make a lot of losses in the forex market. And that's why a lot of persons I knew before, they started trading forex and they were applying scalping, and most of them they lose most of the money within a very short period of time, and they were complaining. So guys, so make sure as a beginner you avoid scalping, because scalping is actually recommended for highly experienced traders, for traders that have been in the market for so long. So if you're a beginner in forex, I would not advise you to apply scalping or to use scalping when performing your trade. Thanks so much, David. For the second video, I'm going to be talking about the second type of forex trader.